Hey you, welcome to my channel. It's really good to have you here. This is going to be an interesting video, so hit that subscribe button, turn on notification as well because there is more where this came from. In this video, I'm going to be making cupcakes, but not just any cupcakes. I'm going to be making banana cupcakes. This will be my first time of making banana cupcakes, or rather, this will be my first time even of eating banana cupcakes. So the reason why I'm craving it is because I have overripe banana at home, and yeah, I ate it up to this. And we have to put it to use. So what better use to put it to than to put it in my cupcakes? So I have this habit of baking cupcakes and leaving in my fridge. So why not make some banana cupcakes and see how it turns out? So let's get right into the ingredients. So my cupcakes are really basic, just the basic ingredients. We have as the MOC plain flour. This is all-purpose flour, salt, sugar, baking powder, vegetable oil. It's so heavy. My milk at its peak, 2 whole eggs, and the real MOC, actually, this is the master of the ceremony, bananas, overripe bananas. So let's get right to making it. This is also going to be another sit down recipe. So we get our mixer, and in it I'm going to start with adding my eggs. So I crack it open. That was the hardest thing I had. Second one. Next, I add some sugar. So I don't like my pastries being very sweet, so I go with the lowest amount of sugar I can possibly use with any recipe I'm doing. So for this one, I'm adding 1/8 cups of sugar. Sugar and egg, cover it up and mix it. Just mix it for a couple of seconds. Next, I add vegetable oil. So my thing is that the amount of vegetable oil I'm going to use will determine the amount of flour I'm going to use. So I'm using 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. So I add that, cover it up and mix. Now that has been mixed properly. Next, I add my flavor, which is banana. Yeah, this is the point where I add my vanilla essence, but since the banana is going to be standing in place of that, this is the moment I put it. So I'm using 2 fingers of banana because this particular banana is not the sugary type. Like, it's sweet, but it's not sugary. So that's why I'm using 2. If it was the very sugary type of banana, I would have used just 1. So I add that. And now I blend. Now that has been thoroughly mixed, let's see. This is what it looks like, still giving us some liquid vibe. So now is the time I add my dry ingredients. Like I said, the amount of flour I'm going to use was determined by the amount of vegetable oil I used. And the reason I came up with that particular equation is because I've done this over and over again. And when I first started making cupcakes, I would either have too much flour remaining or I would need to add more milk. Like, the ingredients I thought was going to be enough for like a particular recipe wasn't really matching. So like I just kept on adjusting the ingredients till I realized that 1/3 cup of vegetable oil was equal to 1/3 cup of flour. So the math, I found my formula myself. That's probably how they got to it, but I figured it out myself. And nobody's going to take that away. Yeah, so I'm gonna own it. So I add that. Next, I'm going to add salt. And for the salt, I'm going to be using the smallest spoon, which is 1/8 teaspoon. And I'm not even going to put in like a full amount. It's like half of the 1/8 teaspoon. So this is like 1/16. So I add that. For the baking powder, so this one was another one I also had to figure out because there have been situations where I finished adding all my dry ingredients and I mixed and it became too fluffy. So I added small milk and then it became too watery. And I added small baking powder. And the next thing I knew, the cake I baked was so big and it had this bitter taste. So that was when I realized that there was also a trick to this one, and my trick is 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. This is like my typical recipe. That's the quantities I'm using. They are my typical recipe. So I used 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder for this amount of flour. So I close it and mix. So it's all mixed properly. Next I'm going to add is this milk. Now this milk is almost not needed at this point because it's at the right consistency. So when I'm adding this milk, I always add like a little just for the flavor. So this just a couple of drops to give it that peak vibe. And so go ahead and mix. Now it is thoroughly mixed. Our batter is ready. Next is to fill up our cupcake pan. So this is my parchment paper. I'm going to line my pan with it, and I'll bring it to your eye level to show you when I'm done. So I line it with my cupcake parchment paper. So this particular recipe always gives me 6 cupcakes. Let's see if that's true. So I open it up and pour. Thank God we're done. They will not get me. But first, let's get some lights. Okay, yeah, I know it's not as bright as it was earlier, but you can still see me, right? Okay, so let's go. So you know the trick with cupcakes, you don't fill it up because it's still going to rise to the occasion. So all done, we're good to go. Now let's pop this in the oven and watch our cake rise. So I pop it in the oven. I'm going to let it cook for let's say 25 minutes and we're good to go. See ya. Our timer is up and our cake is done. So let's turn it off. You know what time it is? It's tasting time. I just finished having lunch. So we're just going to have one. And I picked this one up. It's a brownie. But it's not burn. It's just brown. I like it getting this dark. So I open it. I have no words for what I'm seeing, so I'm going to show you. Like, I have never made a cupcake like this. I don't even know how this came about. But we're going to give it a taste test though. Like, really, today that I decided to record this thing is just... This is called Lapta. Lapta. So let's give it a taste test. And of course, you understand, like, how would I not get cupcake right? I mean, see, I don't know what happened though, but this is the inside. It tastes so nice. It's moist. This is actually really nice. This was a win. This was really a win. But it was just, see, you would never believe that it tastes like this. Like something that came out from this tastes like this. So yeah, I'm so glad. It doesn't look so amazing, but it is to die. Like it tastes so good. So nice. And that's all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay wilding and vibing.